All right, guys, let's talk about this week's discussion post. Let's talk about what you need to do and how you need to do it. So here we are in the discussion panel. You can get to it from our Friday module, of course, because that is what is due on Friday. You can also get to it by clicking on Tools and then clicking on Discussions. All right, so here we are. We're in our Unit 1, the American Identity. So some things to remember when you are posting in our discussion board. All right, so definitely want to make sure that what you type is public. Post things that you're only comfortable communicating also in person. Responses should be well written. Use a spell checker. This is not text messaging. This isn't chat. This should be like you're writing a paper. All right. A lot of times people will put their response in a word processing program like Word or Google Docs and then paste it into the response box. And that's actually what I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Also, I'm going to be looking at these, so make sure there's no foul language or inappropriate topics. If so, I'll remove them and you'll have to be reported to the administration. But I don't think that's going to happen. I am not worried about that. Okay, so our discussion post is what is an American? So we are keeping up with our theme of our first instructional cycle, thinking about what does that mean? And it means so many different things to so many different people. And so what is an American? This is what I want you to think about. I want you to answer this question. Okay, this is part of your prompt. So this would be your thesis statement. You would be making a claim. I believe an American is, or an American is, and then you fill in that blank with what you think. Then, based on your claim, you are going to use Galileo and you're going to research this topic and find an article that supports your claim. All right, and then you're going to read that article and you're going to choose at least two pieces of textual evidence from it to support your claim. And in doing so, you're going to use in-text citations, which we've talked about this week, and the full MLA citation for the source at the bottom of the post. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Once you've done that, the discussion board will open up even more for you and you will be able to see things that other people have posted. The second part of this assignment is to respond to someone else's post. It's not enough to just say, oh, I agree, or yeah, this is cool, or great job. You need to engage with what they said, okay? And I'm going to show you what that means in just a second. So you can see right here it says to get full credit, you must post an initial response. So that's your response with your textual evidence backing it up. So you're writing here at least a good paragraph. And then you're going to respond to one classmate appropriately. Here's the link to Galileo. Our Galileo password is fellow. If you need a refresher about how to use Galileo, click here. Now, this discussion post has a rubric. It's posted in the OHS and it is also here. So I know that everyone is going to be aiming for getting a level 4. 100 points, and this is how you do it. Respond clearly to all parts of that discussion question. Do everything it tells you to, exactly as it tells you to do it. Then respond to one peer. Make sure it's thought out. You can offer some additional feedback to what they said or some perspective. You can even disagree respectfully with it. Okay? And then you would want to provide some kind of evidence of the claims to what you are saying. Now, the quality of these responses, they should add significantly to the discussion. You want to further the conversation. You can suggest solutions, point out problems, or respectfully disagree. Hear that word one more time, respectfully, it's a theme. And then finally, turn it in on time. It's due Friday. Turn it in on Friday. If you turn it in after Friday, you can see you'll lose points. So turn it in on time. All right, so how are you going to do this? Well, first of all, you're going to click Start a New Thread. I'd like for you to put your name in the subject line. I'm going to write Ms. Chambliss' example because this is going to stay in here so you guys can see it, but you'll have to post before you can see it. All right, so I'm going to type my claim. So I've already done mine in another, in a Word document, but my claim is, I believe, oh, we got some spell checker going on here too. An American is someone who stands up for injustice, even when it's hard. And I'm going to actually copy and paste my actual answer in here in just a second. So that's what I think. So that being said, I'm going to go to Galileo, and I'm going to log in, and I'm going to search. Now, when I search in Galileo, let me back up here. I like to use the advanced search, and it's right here. That way, I can put in different things. So I put in the word standing against justice, and I said, okay, let me see what Galileo will bring up. So I started scrolling down, and I needed to make sure that I had checked full text. All right. and I scrolled down and I found this article that I really liked called The Perilous Fight. All right, and I said, this looks interesting. I got the full text. Great. Here's the abstract so I can read what it's about. All right, and then if I scroll down, I can see that it comes from Time Magazine, which is a very reputable source. It can even read it to me if I don't feel like reading. And then you can scroll down and read the article. All right, so now I can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 authors in this article. So when I'm doing my in-text citations, I don't have to list all 6 of these authors. You just list the first one plus the words et al., and I'll show you that in just a second. So I've got my post. I actually wrote it in a Word document. So I am going to, oh, look at it. I needed some spell check, Heather. Thank you. So I'm going to copy it. All right, then I'm going to go back into my discussion board post and I'm going to paste it. And there it is. And so here's what I mean. I've got my 2 pieces of textual evidence in here. You can see it because you can see the in-text citations. So since there were so many authors, I just put Gregory et al. All right, and so that's what you can do when there's more than 3 authors. Okay, so I've got all of my information here. I did exactly what the discussion question asked me. All right, I said, I believe an American is someone who stands up for injustice even when it's unpopular. As Americans, I feel we have the responsibility of making our country a safe place for everyone, so it is important to take a stand and make sure that happens. An example of this would be Colin Kaepernick standing up for racial injustice by kneeling for the national anthem. Okay, I paraphrase this from that article. That's why it's not a direct quote, so there's no quotes, but I paraphrase it, but I still had to give credit. While his actions were unpopular with many people, he felt his cause was worth it. And whether they liked it or not, everyone was talking about it and giving it deserved attention. As the article stated, now we have a direct quote, quotation marks. The anthem's lyrics, an ode to America's promise, along with questions about whether it's living up to it, can be read as both as a tribute to the nation's ideals and an invitation to challenge them. And then end quotes, and once again my in-text citation. Kaepernick and others who supported his cause wanted those singing the song to think about what it really meant. An American is someone who is willing to fight for injustice even when it is hard. So I've got my response. One thing I'm missing is my MLA citation, and this is where it gets so easy. I come back over here into my article, I click Cite, I scroll down, and I find my MLA citation. I copy it, and I paste it, and I'm done. That was so fast. Okay, and so you see right here where it says subscribe to this thread, you definitely want to do that, and it's already checked for you anyway, because that way if someone comments on it, you can see it. So I'm going to hit post. All right, and there is my example. So once you have posted, you'll be able to see other people's posts. Then you're going to want to choose someone's post to read. You're going to want to click on their post. You're going to want to read it. And then you're going to want to hit reply to thread. And that's how you reply to their post. All right. So that is what we are doing on Friday. It's due by Friday night. So make sure you get it done. If you have questions, just let me know.